How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk about stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. We also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. You just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you are new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the work week. Maybe you had maybe you had a stressful day. Maybe it was the market conditions while you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. Why did the bullet end up losing its job? He got fired. I know it's pretty good, right? But he got fired, the bullet. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is CTRM, Castor Maritime. So what ended up happening? They ended up coming out with a press release. And I know it's been quite some time since I covered it. And I know many of you are shareholders just like myself. So I'm like, you know what? Let's get into it. So like I normally do in all of my videos, we do have to have an agenda. I also do have timestamps for all my videos as well, just in case you want to see more parts of a particular part of the video. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is a press release that ended up coming out, which I feel is big and is going to have an impact on the balance sheet. So that's why I'm happy to actually share it with you guys. We're also going to be doing a technical analysis, taking a look at its recent price action. I think this is key. We want to know where those levels of support and as well as those resistance areas. And we also want to know, what is the trend looking like? Is it looking bullish or is it looking bearish? And then afterwards, we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. If you are a shareholder, I feel this is key to know. And anyone who might be doing any swing trades and so forth, you might be able to find some gems so you can use it to have it inside your strategy. And then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts afterwards. Let's get into it. So we're now on the CTRM website and we're going to be taking a look at their most recent press release. So here it is, April the 28th, Castor Maritime Inc. announces vessel acquisition. So let's read further into it. So Castor Maritime announces vessel acquisition. A diversified global shipping company announces that it entered through a separate wholly owned subsidiary into an agreement to acquire a 2011 Chinese-built Panamax dry bulk carrier from an unaffiliated third party for a purchase price of $14.5 million. The acquisition is expected to be consummated by taking delivery of the vessel during May of this year and is subject to the satisfaction of certain customary closing conditions. Pedros Padalitos, Chief Executive Officer of Castor, commented, "We are very pleased to announce the acquisition of one more Panamax dry bulk vessel in 2021, increasing Castor's dry bulk fleet to 15 vessels. Upon completion of all of our recently announced acquisitions, our fleet will consist of 18 vessels, tripling in size since the start of this year. The anticipated prompt delivery of this vessel will allow Castor to take further advantage of the current strong market demand for dry bulk tonnage." So this is definitely great news to hear, and the fact that it's going to be in operation coming into May. Hey, let's look forward to seeing how this will be reflected in regards to their earnings. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for CTRM Castor Maritime. So when we take a look at its overall performance on the day, it closed at 50 cents, being down 3.96% on the day. As far as where it tested 49 cents on the low and 53 cents on the high. So one of the things we want to pay attention to right away, especially as we go back to April the 15th, and as we are close to the end of the month, we are seeing increasing levels of support. So we do see a bit of an uptrend for CTRM, and this is something to definitely be keeping an eye on. We also could see right away very clearly, you want to see how well support holds up here around 48 cents and seeing how well support holds up here at 50 cents. If this 50 cents area ever ends up breaking, then again look out for 48, and if that area pretends up breaking, then definitely look out over here around 46. From what I'm seeing right now, CTRM definitely looks like it's gearing up for a bullish movement. It's above the 200 day, it's also running above the 100 day, and of course it looks like it's trying to catch up to the 21-day EMA over here at 51 cents. Could we see that tomorrow? Of course we can. We did end up hitting some highs here around 53 cents. So that's something that we want to see a retest coming to tomorrow. Now, the resistance area that we need to keep an eye on here is right here around 55 cents. We've seen in the past, especially over here on April the 22nd, when it does make that bullish move, you can see a quick move going to 58. So once we're able to have that strong buying pressure right in that 55 cents area and being able to pass it, and also we can end up getting close to that 60 cent area. You could also see we do have a gap here that needs to be filled. So it'll be very interesting to see if we can get into 60 with increased buying pressure. I would not be surprised if we're able to reclaim all the way back up to here around the 73 cent level. But 70 cents, hey, I'll be happy with that. But that's one thing I want you guys to be aware of in regards to Castor. If we take a look even at the RSI, the current price of where it's at, it is definitely looking good. We know they did a direct offering as well, priced in at 65 cents. So still a lot more growth left for Castor. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how this week actually finishes up tomorrow and also going into May next week. So we're now on fintel.io for CTRM Castor Maritime. You want to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. So total of institutional owners, we have 33. And as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. And so far what we're seeing as of late, especially from February the 16th, institutions are definitely looking bullish on Castor Maritime. We already know institutions are not going to be wasting their time. They want to see a return on their investment in the medium and long term. So seeing what we're seeing, we see some big positions that are being opened up. So it's definitely looking bullish for Castor on the institution side. We have some notable names here. We have Morgan Stanley, definitely, as well as Virtue Financial. And also to take a look at what's been going down even most recently from April the 22nd going to the 28th, we have about 5 institutions opening up new positions, and the shares that they're buying is definitely fairly significant. So it's definitely looking good for CTRM. So if we take a look now at the short interest information, the short volume ratio is at 39%. So this stock definitely has some short squeeze potential. We look out for anything that is 21% or higher, and this is almost double. As we scroll down on the page, short shares availability stands at around 10 million, and the short vol free rate stands at 2.19%. When we see the short volume ratio, like we covered, it's getting there close to 40, and this is taken into consideration the most recent date of April the 28th. So I'll be keeping an eye on it and keeping you guys updated to see what it ends up being going in for tomorrow, but we're not going to get the updated as far as for April 29th until later tonight. So that's just to update you guys so you know what's going on institutional ownership and as well as the short interest side for Castor Maritime. So for my final thoughts for CTRM Castor Maritime, this is definitely great to hear. The size of their fleet is now up to 18, so they literally tripled in size. So you know what, all I have to say is we know that they did a direct offering at 65 cents. So the current price of where the stock is right now, I feel, is at a discount, and it definitely does provide opportunities for anyone looking for short-term trades and as well as medium to long-term investments. What I'm looking forward to more of CTRM is buying more fleets, right? We want to make sure they keep expanding. They're definitely taking advantage of the current conditions of what's happening inside the dry bulk shipping space. Another thing to understand, part of the things that we're seeing with price action, we're seeing increasing levels of support. Why is this key? This does signal that we might be on an uptrend right here. Another thing to also understand, one of the questions surrounding CTRM was the size of weight. How's it going to be looking on the balance sheet? How's the earnings going to be looking? And the fact that they've been expanding the fleet, that's definitely going to have a positive impact on the overall balance sheet. So what does that mean? We want to see some movements in regards to the overall stock price because of this. So is CTRM going to be able to get back into that $1 range? Yes, I'm definitely seeing it within the year. If we don't end up seeing it, I'm going to be honest with you guys, like I'll be seriously shocked, because I know one thing for sure, they're going to continue to focus on expanding the business, and that can only help in regards to the long term. But like I was saying before, it should be able to get back to that 65-cent level where it ended up doing a direct offering. Also, if we take a look at the institutional ownership, a lot of institutions have been putting in their money. So they're betting on CTRM to actually move. We already know that institutions are not going to be wasting their time and money on stocks that do not provide a return on investment. So the fact that we see, hey, it's definitely been increasing in regards to activity and long positions is great to see if you are a shareholder. We already know CTRM also does come with a lot of short squeeze potential. So just knowing that and being aware of that is one of the reasons why you need to be keeping an eye on this stock, because when it does make moves to the upside, it's going to be fairly significant. Another thing to also understand are the market conditions. Considering what we ended up having for today, as we know, it's definitely been the kind of week in regards to a lot of big companies releasing earnings. We also had Joe Biden that speak. We also had Jerome Powell. It's doing a great job holding itself up, and I want to see that 50-cent level actually continue to be a strong area of support. If that area does end up breaking, like I updated in the technical analysis, you guys already know what to expect. So overall, in general, this is great to hear what CTRM is doing. I want to see this reflected on the balance sheet. Hey, because I'm a shareholder at the end of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon. Peace.